going on, Cheeseheads? What's going on, Packer Nation? So today, by the title of the video, you guys should know what's going down. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys a recap of the draft, give you guys my overall thoughts on the entire draft, and go through each player that we drafted, give you guys a grade for each player, and then sum up each grade that I gave the player, and give you guys the overall grade for our selection this year. And by looking at what we drafted, I'm not disappointed. I'm actually satisfied. The first two rounds, obviously, we went cornerbacks, which is a position of need. Then our third round, we got a linebacker. And then we got three wide receivers, which was a shocker to most Packer fans, simply because they're like, why are we wasting our picks on receivers? You know, we did the same thing last year. You know, we got two receivers and they're not on the team. Just look at it. We don't have Jordy Nelson. We don't have Jeff Janis. We only have Adams, Cobb, Allison, Clark, and then Davis. You know, so there's going to be wide receiver competition going on at training camp, which is going to be amazing to see. See who the better one is out of the three. Then we got an offensive lineman, a punter, defensive lineman, a long snapper, and another linebacker in the 7th round. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied, like I said, with the draft. So without further ado, let's get right into the first selection. With our first selection, we took Jaire Alexander, the cornerback out of Louisville. Now, despite his height, Jaire Alexander has very good ball skills. He always has his eyes on the ball and on the quarterback. Alexander will boost up the Packers secondary with his speed, in which at the combine he ran a 4.38 in the 40-yard dash, and will be a huge threat for the Packers special teams, which means we will no longer see Trevor Davis or Randall Cobb, and since we don't have it no more, Jeff Janis be the guy who does the punt returns. Alexander's going to be the guy that we use him for. If Alexander can stay healthy, because in 2016 was his best year, 2017 missing pretty much the entire season. If he can stay healthy, he will have a promising rookie year and learn from veterans like Tramon Williams, Devon House, and he'll be paired up next to Kevin King. I give this pick an A, as Gutekunst addressed a position of need. For our second pick in the second round, we took Josh Jackson, the cornerback out of Iowa. Our secondary needed depth, and we got it. Jackson was a guy I expected us to take in the first round. However, the second round ain't that bad. Jackson will give the Packers a ball hawk of a corner due to his amazing season with the Hawkeyes, finishing his career there with 8 interceptions and 24 pass deflections. Jackson is a lengthy corner at 6 feet and a tackling machine. However, his speed isn't the best, but he's still going to be a playmaker regardless. The trio of King, Alexander, and Jackson will definitely be a scary sight, so I'm giving this pick an A. In the third round, the Packers selected linebacker Oren Burks out of Vanderbilt. Gutekunst reached out to draft Burks in the third round by trading a 4th and 5th round pick to Carolina. After watching film on Burks, I can see he is a guy who can cover tight ends and running backs on passing plays, and definitely has potential, so that means we won't be seeing Blake Martinez or Jake Ryan be lined up against, wide receivers or tight ends and get smoked. However, an area of improvement is working on tackling, because in the game that he had against Alabama was horrific, in which he slipped up a lot and missed a lot of tackles. So I'm going to give this pick a B-. In the 4th round, the Packers select J'Mon Moore, wide receiver from Missouri. This was the Packers' first offensive pick after going all defense the first 3 rounds of the draft. J'Mon Moore seems to have tons of potential coming to Green Bay and have Aaron Rodgers throw his way. In 2017, to finish the season with Missouri, he had 1,882 yards and 10 touchdowns. The only downside to this guy is that he tends to drop easily caught passes. However, that is fixable within now and before the season begins. I'm giving this pick a solid B+. In the 5th round, the Packers select offensive lineman Cole Madison from Washington State. As many say, including myself, we found Brian Bulaga's replacement. One downside I had with him is that he's really slow, running a 5.33 at the combine, but he does look like he has quick feet. This gives us more depth at guard and help. I give this pick a solid B+. With our second 5th round pick, the Packers select punter J.K. Scott out of Alabama. This to many Packer fans came as a surprise and wondered, why the hell did we draft a freaking punter? Well, after watching film on Scott, I learned he could do kickoff duties and is a decent holder, which means Justin Vogel has competition this offseason. I like this pick simply because it helps us out pinning other offenses inside their own 10. I feel like we could have grabbed him as an undrafted free agent, but he's one of the best in the league, or in the draft, I should say. And not only that, but the Raiders picked a punter as well right after us. So I'm going to give this pick an A-. With our third, fifth round pick, the Packers select wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling out of South Florida. This is the second receiver the Packers take, which reminded me of last year's draft when we drafted Yancey and Dupre. I'm enjoying this pick because Scantling is 6'4" and had an impressive 40-yard dash time, which was a 4.37, and for a guy that tall, that's pretty damn fast. However, he has problems running his routes. I believe he can still be a downfield threat, and I'll give this pick a solid A-. In the sixth round, the Packers select one of my favorites in Notre Dame, and that is wide receiver Equanimeous St. Brown. Besides the fact that I'm a Notre Dame fan, I really see St. Brown making an impact on the field. With his 6'5" frame and speed, he'll be a huge threat down the field as well. His numbers weren't really impressive due to Brandon Wimbush being quarterback. However, with DeShone Kizer being the quarterback in 2016, they really made a huge duo connection there. And with Kizer throwing his way, Equanimeous St. Brown finished the season there in 2016 with 58 receptions, 961 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Not being biased, but I give this pick a solid B+. I feel like there's still work to do with him, but he was a snag at round 6. With our first 7th round pick, the Packers select defensive lineman James Looney out of Cal State. Looney was a very disruptive player back in Cal's defense, earning all Pac-12 honorable mention for the second straight year. Although a defensive lineman piece wasn't a need, I like how he likes letting teams know his presence there, kind of like Mike Daniels. Plus, he gets a lot of quarterback pressure, which we need. I give this pick a solid B+. Like I said, don't really feel like it was a need. Plus, a 7th round pick doesn't really hurt us at all. And with our last pick, the Packers select Kendall Donnerson, linebacker out of Southeast Missouri State. I didn't see much highlights about this guy whatsoever, so I went and did my research, and on the NFL website, they had an article about this guy. I read about it. They pretty much went to say he's a 50-50 player, meaning there's a lot of good and a lot of bad. Now, this guy is an edge rusher. However, I'm not really feeling this guy. I feel like the bad about him is something that's going to take a long time to fix. There is some good about him. However, there's more bad than good. Not really liking the pick. Don't really think it's something we should address in the late round. So I'm going to give this pick a D+. Who knows how this will turn out. Maybe Mike Patine can turn this guy around, but not too sure about it. But that's going to conclude my thoughts on these players. Overall, guys, I think Brian Gutekunst did a very good job for his first draft as our new general manager. Overall, I give our draft a solid B+. Just looking at it, I feel like Brian Gutekunst really addressed our needs on defense. Also gave Rodgers brand new weapons and choices for the field and for training camp when it comes down to seeing who's going to make the roster or not. I'm really pumped to see who's going to make the team. I'm looking forward to it. I also want to mention, I know I didn't mention our long snapper Hunter Bradley out of Mississippi State, simply because I didn't see much highlights on him and didn't really want to mention him. But let me know your guys' thoughts, and I'm going to conclude this video right now. Alrighty, Packer Nation, that's going to conclude my Packers draft recap and my overall grade for 2018 picks. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Also, share this video with the rest of the Packer Nation who aren't subscribed to my channel. And let me know, do you guys agree with my picks on each player that we drafted, my grade for them, and our overall grade for the entire draft? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know your guys' thoughts. With that being said, go Pack Go, and stay tuned because I will be doing my Packers season prediction. And yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Also, follow me on Instagram. And that's it, guys. Go Pack Go. See you on the next video.